Dear students, greetings for the day. In the sequence of History of Fashion, today we will discuss about Mughal and Rajput Empire, their fashion trends. The Mughal Empire was an empire established and ruled by a Persianate dynasty of Shiite Turco-Mongol origin that extended over large parts of the Indian subcontinent and Afghanistan. The beginning of the empire is conventionally dated to the founder Babur's victory over Ibrahim Lodi, the last ruler of the Delhi Sultanate in the First Battle of Panipat, 1526. The ladies and gents of the Mughal Empire wore beautiful and expensive clothes made from the finest materials and adorned themselves with jewelry from head to toe. The garments of Mughal ladies were made of the finest muslins, silks, velvets and brocades. The muslins used for their clothes were of three types: Abi Rawan, running water; Baft Hawa, woven air; and Shabnam, evening dew. Muslins called Shabnam were brought from Dhaka and were famous as Dhaka Malmal. The Jama, the Yaktai Jama, an unlined Jama, originated in Persia and Central Asia, where it was worn both short and long, over a pajama to form an outfit known as the bastagab. In Persian, the word jama means garment, robe, gown or coat. The definition of the Mughal jama is a side-fastening frock coat with tight-fitting bodice, nipped-in waist and flared skirt, reaching the knees. The choga. This is a very ancient garment which we have seen all throughout the Persian, Mongolian and other areas. The word choga in Mughal times referred to a long-sleeved coat, opened down the front, usually down to hip length or knee length. Dhoti and pajama. During the Akbari period, men wore trousers invariably with their jamas, in this context, coats, and there is no artistic evidence to suggest that dhottis were ever worn in combination with the coats. Therefore, while Rajput may have worn a dhoti in the privacy of his home, in public he wore trousers. Paintings of the period indicate that the pajamas were loose and flowing from the waist to the knee, where they became snug down to the ankle. Often the fabric on the lower legs is wrinkled, suggesting that the pajamas were longer than the leg itself and pushed up, just like the sleeves of the jama, in a display of conspicuous consumption. At no time do the pajamas match the jama in color, and solid colors appear to have been the fashion during Akbar's reign. The patka, around the waist of the jama, a long piece of fine fabric was tied like a sash. This was the patka, from which a jeweled sword could be suspended. Patkas were hand-woven with complex designs, or embroidered, or hand-painted or printed. Many made for royalty showed textile craftsmanship at its best. Pagri or turban. The most important accessory for an Indian man was his turban, which proclaimed his status, religion, caste and region of origin. To submit a turban to anybody was a sign of total subjugation, and the removal of a turban was the most humiliating punishment that could be inflicted on any man. Peshwas, loose jama-like robe, fastened at the front, with ties at the waist. Usually high-waisted and long-sleeved. Sometimes several fine transparent muslin peshwas were worn, for a layered look. Sometimes a kole blouse was worn under the peshwas. Yalak, a long under-tunic reaching to the floor, usually with short sleeves or sleeveless. Pajama. This is a compound of two Persian words, pai meaning legs or feet and jama meaning cover. Drawstring pajamas have been worn in Persia since very ancient times. From about 1530 onwards, several types of pajama were worn in India. Churidar, cut on the bias, much longer than the leg, so that folds fall at the ankle, worn by men and women. Shalwar, a triangularly cut pajama with a quilted band at the ankle. Poncha, worn by men and women. Dilla, a woman's pajama made of silk, cut wide and straight. Garara, a woman's pajama cut loose to the knee and adding gathers. Farshi, a woman's pajama cut without folds to the knees, and then gathered into pleats to the floor. Turban. Mughals tied their turbans, then added decoration by way of bejeweled bands, pin jewelry or other ornamentation. Caps. Caps worn were heavily ornamented and in a variety of styles. The chor kosia, made in 4 segments, the quida, dome-shaped the kashi, tenuma, boat-shaped the duple, small narrow cap with front and back points, the nakar da, for nobles, heavily embroidered the mando, usually black velvet embroidered with gold or silver thread. Mughal ornaments. The Mughal ladis loaded themselves with a large variety of ornaments. Most of the traveler agreed that ornaments were the very joy of their hearts. Different types of head ornaments, ear ornaments, nose ornaments, necklaces, hand ornaments, waist belts and ankle-foot ornaments were used in the Mughal Empire. Footwear. Ornamented shoes with turned-up toes, juti, were Persian in style, and were worn by men and women. Some other footwear were the kafsh, worn by nobles and kings, the chahan, with a curling tongue fixed to the toe, the solemn shai, decorated in gold, the kardno, very lightweight, made of kid leather. Lucknow was most famous for its footwear in Mughal times, and the art of embroidery on leather and velvet footwear was very popular. The Rajput population and the former Rajput states are found spread through much of the subcontinent, particularly in north, west and central India. Populations are found in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Haryana, Jammu, Punjab, Sindh, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh and Bihar. The state records of Jaipur mention special departments in charge of royal costumes, while the Rangkhana and the Kapakhana are departments that took care of dyeing and printing the fabrics respectively. The Sivankhana ensured its immaculate tailoring to special sections. The Toshakan and the Kapadwedra took care of the daily wear and formal costumes of the king. Rajasthani daily wear such as saris, adnis and turbans are often made from textiles using either block-printed, above, or tie-and-dye techniques. The Rajput kings, owing to their close proximity to the Mughal court style in their formal dress, richly brocaded material from Banaras and Gujarat, embroidered and woven Kashmiri shawls and delicate cottons from Chandari and Dhaka were procured at great cost. Men's clothing. Rajputs' main costumes were the aristocratic dresses, court dress, which includes angaki, pagdi, chudidar pajama and the kamband, belt. Angaki, short jacket, is long upper part of garments which they used to wear over a sleeveless close-fitting cloth. Nobles of Rajputs generally attired themselves in the jama, sherwani as an upper garment and salwar, chudidar pajama, a pair of shaped trousers, as lower garments. The dhoti was also in tradition in that time, but styles were different to wear it. Devata style of dhoti was prominent in desert region and Tailangi style in the other regions. Turbans. Varying styles of turban denote region and caste. These variations are known by different names such as pagari and safa. A pagari is usually 82 feet long and 8 inches wide. A safa is shorter and broader. The common man wears turbans of one color, while the elite wear designs and colors according to the occasion. Achieving different styles with just a length of material requires great skill. Specialists in this art, called pagribands, were employed by the royal courts, but Rajasthanis generally take pride in practicing and perfecting the art of turban tying themselves. Women's clothing. To capture the sensuality of the female figures in Rajput paintings, women were depicted wearing transparent fabrics draped around their bodies. Rajput women's main attire was the sari, wrapped over whole body and one of the end thrown on the right shoulder, or lehenga related with the Rajasthani traditional dress. On the occasion, marriage, women preferred anja. After marriage of Kanchli, Kurti, and anja were the main garb of women. The young girls used to wear the padya as an upper garment made of pure cotton fabric and the salhanki as lower garments, loose pajama. Widows and unmarried women clothed themselves with polka, half-sleeved which ends at the waist, and gargra as a voluminous cord skirt made of lined satin, organza or silk. Other important part of clothing is agna of women which is worked in silk. Jewelry preferred by women were exquisite in the style or design. One of the most jewelry called rakli, head ornament, machi suliya, ears, and tabata, pashiya, and the ad, all is necklace. Rakli, Narth and Shuda shows the married woman's status. The footwear is same for men and women and name juti made of leather. The Nizam al-Mulk of Hyderabad, popularly known as the Nizam of Hyderabad, was a monarch of the Hyderabad state, now divided into the states of Telangana, Karnataka and Marathwada region of Maharashtra. Nizam, shortened from Nizam al-Mulk, meaning administrator of the realm, was the title of the sovereigns of Hyderabad state, was the premier prince of India since 1724, belonging to the Asafjah dynasty. Hyderabad was the largest and most prosperous of all princely states in India. Hyderabad state had its own army, airline, telecommunication system, railway network, postal system, currency and radio broadcasting service. In spite of the overwhelming Hindu majority, Hindus were severely underrepresented in government, police and the military. Female. The Kada Dupattu or Kara Dupattu uncut veil is an outfit composed of a kutta, tunic, chorda, ruched pair of pants, and 6-yard dupatta, veil, and is traditionally worn by Hyderabad brides. Sometimes the kutta is sleeveless and worn over a koti resembling a kole. The bride also wears a matching gunat, veil, over her head. Jewelry. They used to wear jewelry as follows: tika, juma, nath, chintak also known as jadauziva, kanful, satlada, ranaga, jani, goat, pile, jintiyun. Male: The sherwani is the traditional men's garb of Hyderabad. It is a coat-like tunic with a tight-fitting collar, hook and eyelet fastening, close-fitting in the upper torso and flaring somewhat in its lower half. It usually has 6 or 7 buttons, often removable ones made from gold sovereigns for special occasions. The material is usually silk or wool. A groom may use gold brocade for his wedding sherwani, but otherwise good taste dictates understated colors, albeit with rich and textured fabrics. The sherwani is usually worn over a silk or cotton kutta, long shirt, and pajamas, baggy pants with a drawstring at the waist. The sherwani is closely associated with Hyderabad, although it has spread since to the rest of India and to Pakistan. Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru adapted its design and turned it into his trademark Nehru jacket, further popularizing the garment.